Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Our Family's Journey. I have a special guest with us today. Her name is Tam Bush, and she is the creator of A Mixed Life. You don't want to miss this podcast.
If someone happened to see our family, they would, ask questions or randomly I get into conversations with people. And I just learned that you need to be empathetic, you need to be understanding, but also not to judge and be objective. And sometimes that's kind of hard, but just reiterated that whatever or whoever tells you anything, you are nothing other but who you are, basically. And so that's something that has stuck with her, that even to this day, at the age of 14, she will tell you, like, look, I'm me. I may be part of my mom and part of my dad, but I am me.
Yeah.
As a parent, that's something that's very important, that you want them to be who they are and not let anyone put labels on them. Off, as they would say, like the rose-colored glasses, like take those lens and look at the world differently. So if you happen to come from a different culture, a different background, and you see other people that are different from you, take the time to think of, like, what would that person be going through that you may not necessarily be aware of, or even strike up a conversation with someone. I mean, we're human beings and we need to interact. And unfortunately now with everything that's going around, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge, but doesn't mean that you cannot even try. It's being objective, and sometimes we got to put our feelings and emotions at the front door and use the rational part of ourselves as to, okay, why am I feeling a certain type of way? Why is it getting underneath my skin? Handle that, put that aside, and look at what your overall outcome is. Like for me, I like to look ahead in the future. What do I want my children to become? How do I want them to become it? I want them to be their unapologetically, authentically self. We communicate. How do we show ourselves to our loved ones? Whether you're biological or not, even people you meet on every day, it's how we communicate that. And then once you find that communicative piece, that's how you're able to connect. Yeah. We all are connected one way or another. Even people you cannot stand in this world, we connect some way.
Yeah.
Is that now by 2050, you're going to have a lot of multi-dimensional, children, especially in the U.S. We're not talking globally. In the U.S., that they have become their own identity. And that's a struggle there too. And even as a parent, I have to remind myself that even as a woman of color, my journey is not going to be the same as my children. I'm parallel to it, but doesn't mean that what I have experienced is going to be what they're going to experience. Ooh. And believe me, my daughter has experienced some things already, even though she is just 14.
Yeah.
And what it boils down to is hurt. All the things that's happening in our world right now, everyone's angry, but they're hurt because they're not being seen. They're not being heard. They're not feeling appreciated or valued, or let alone have a seat. Not even at the table, just have a seat. Or offered one, or just say, hey, be part of our group. If we don't have enough seats, you can still be part of our group. And so it turns into other types of emotions.
Yeah.